so it sort of lines you up with them properly.
Yep.
Cool, have you got them there?
Yep.
Yep, they're up quite high, yeah, cool. Alright, so welcome again to Flight Experience. Welcome to the flight deck of the 737 and welcome to Sydney International Airport. So we're just sitting at the gate at the moment, engine's shut down, but we're sitting in obviously an on state with the APU. So have you heard of the APU before? Yeah, cool. So we're running off the APU at the moment, so what I'll do is I'll start by talking through all the controls, make sure you're nice and happy with everything. If you do have any questions at all, feel free to shout them out as we go, and then I'll get you to start up the engines for us and we'll go taxi out and line up with the runway. Cool. Alright, so first and foremost, right in front of you there is the yoke. Okay, so obviously basically your steering wheel, obviously I'm sure you know what that one does. Okay, so it's all pretty basic, obviously you're pushing down, nose up, and then turning left and right. Just a few things to keep in mind with this control. Because you are controlling about 60 tons of aircraft, it does lag quite a bit. Okay, so not so much in your turning, but really in your pitch movement. It takes a while for the aircraft to respond, so just doing everything nice and slowly makes it a bit easier to control. The other one with this, obviously with this control is if we are turning, so have it back to the left for example. Okay, if you want to come back to wings level, you have to turn in the opposite direction. Okay, yeah, you always have to force the aircraft to roll back again.
Okay,
Yep. Alright, so yeah, this one's only when you're flying obviously, your feet are going to control you on the ground. Okay, so anytime your wheels are down, just using your rudder pedals to steer. Okay, left for left, right for right. Now the rudder pedals aren't quite sensitive from this, just nice gentle movements on those, makes it a bit easier. Now your brakes are in the normal position right above your rudder pedals, so if you slide them up, push your toes forward, you should be able to feel them there. Feel them there if you push your toes forward.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. Now the
simultaneous, are they? Or
yes, well they each control their own main gear, so if you just pushed one, it's going to veer you off to that side.
Yeah.
Yeah, no worries. Cool. Now the great thing about all these modern aircraft is there's so much automatic stuff. So one of the ones is the automatic braking system. Okay, so when we come into land, we're going to arm that. Okay, that way when the wheels hit the ground, it automatically brings on the brakes nice and evenly for us, so we don't need to worry about our toe brakes until right at the end of the landing roll when we want to come to a stop. We can then use the toe brakes.
You still go on the over the top for the reverse?
Yeah, so these are reverses there, so they come up this way. Yep.
Oh, okay,
Yep, cool. I'll show those ones in a minute once we get the engines fired up. Cool, any questions about the hands and the feet there? No.
That's all good.
Cool, if you pay attention to the first screen there in front of you, do you sort of understand what you're looking at there? Yep. Yeah, so it's your PFD, your primary flight display. So it's all the basic information. So most aircraft maintain or have that information displayed in some way. So down the left is your speed, where it says 45. Okay, don't need to worry too much about your speed to begin with at least, because I'll be taking care of it for you. Okay, down the right hand side is your altitude, so you're looking at around 30 feet above sea level at the moment. Okay, we're going to get up to about 3,000 feet for the circuit. Okay, then you can maintain that until we can make it to land. Okay, then you're pretty familiar with, obviously, with the artificial horizon there? Yep, cool. So with the 737, it's just nose up to 15 degrees after takeoff. Passing at about 1,000 feet will drop it down to 10. Then as you approach your 3,000 foot altitude, will come down to about 5 degrees. So 5 degrees is going to keep us roughly level at the speeds that we're travelling.
Yep.
Cool. Navigation display. Okay, it's a very simple bird's eye view GPS. So we have the triangle in the middle there. Okay, we'll get the runway displayed in a minute. Now we're always pointing straight up the screen and everything rotates around us. Okay, so we've also got our heading bug there, which we can turn like that, and I'll just be setting that to where we need to be heading so you can follow it. Cool, you can also see we've got our traffic on there as well, so we've got another aircraft flying around above us. Cool. Alright, through the middle here's the engine management displays in the throttle quadrant. Okay, obviously two engines, so there's two dials for everything. Okay, so we've got our N1s, which are your rotational speed of the engines. Okay, your thrust output. So those are the ones you generally focus on for engine power. Okay, exhaust gas temperatures and fuel flows per engine, and your fuel tanks, so two wing tanks and a center tank there. Okay, then your secondary screen is all your secondary information, so engine core speeds, oil pressures, temperatures, that sort of stuff. Alright, now with the throttle quadrant, obviously there's your two throttles. Okay, so obviously pushing them up you get your increase in RPM, and bringing them back down to closed it comes back to idle, pretty standard. Okay, your reverse thrusters, obviously on and off. Okay, so when we're coming down to land, it's just a matter of pulling them straight to the top, and then back off again once we pass about 60 knots. Alright, now obviously you know what your flaps do. Yep, okay, so this one's pretty simple. It's just up and down, it's whichever one you need. Anywhere from flaps up down to flaps 40.
Where's your indicator?
Cool, just there. Cool.
Okay.
So yeah, to flaps 1 takes a while. But now flaps 15 and flaps 1 have these little gates on them. Okay, see those? Which don't actually let you past unless you drop into it to go up the other side. Okay, so it's a little V gate. So if you want to try playing around with that, bring us down to flaps 40 just to get a feel for it. Yep, so you come right down to 40 there. Yep. That's it, and then back to 5. Actually, just come back to 0 for now. That's it, just to get a feel for the control. Yep, so down through the gate, up the other side. Yeah, that's it. Cool. Alright, yeah, because you always have to select those ones. So you would never go from 5 straight to 0, for example, or 0 straight to 5. You always select 1 first, and 15. You never want to do too many stages in one go. The aerodynamic change is just too much for the aircraft. Yeah, that's it, and you're ballooning. Cool. Alright, so I'll be getting you to operate your flaps throughout the flight today. I'll let you know what setting we need, and you can change it. Cool, speed brake, also known as your spoilers. Those the panels will pop up on the wings. Okay, so we'll just arm it as we come into land. Get a little light there, confirms it. As soon as the wheels hit the ground on landing, it automatically pops back. Okay, panels will pop up, help us slow down. Okay, so it's all done automatically. Cool. Alright, parking brake. Okay, same with the handbrake in your car. Off and on. And you'll see these spinning around from time to time. Do you know what they are?
Used to.
Yep, the 172 has them. That's it. Yep, your trim wheels. Cool, so it's just me operating with my electric switch here. Okay, so you've got one just there as well. So do you remember what trim does?
Wind and elevation.
Yeah, so this is your elevator trim. So it changes the elevators on the back of the aircraft to stabilize your pitch movement, to make it easier to fly.
Yep.
So I'll probably be doing a lot of that. I'll show you a little bit more how to use the trim in this if you're interested later on.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. Alright, down the bottom is our pedestal, so that's all your communication devices. Okay, so we have our VHF radios, okay, your typical radios for talking to towers and other aircraft, navigation aids for picking up your ILS and your VORs, and your transponder for sending the information down to radar control.
7600, thanks.
That's it.
No, that's actually your email address.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Nice.
Code 7600 live.
Good stuff.
Right, so this one over here is your tiller for taxi?
That's it, yeah, yep. So I generally, even though we have that in this, I tend to always use my feet regardless. I tend to find them a little bit easier. That one is just a little bit weird. It has a sort of delay on it that makes it quite annoying. But feel free to give them both a try and see which one you prefer.
Yeah, no, I've been taxi with the feet.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, it's obviously just. Yeah. Once you're on the runway, regardless, you're always using your feet anyway on the runway. You'd never use tiller wheel on the runway. It's just used for taxiing. Yep. Cool. Across the top here is our MCP or mode control panels. That's your autopilot systems. Okay, so we have 2 autopilots here for turning on and off, and then selecting your altitudes, headings, and speeds. Cool. And finally, the big daunting overhead panel. So I'll just break down the major parts for you. We've got our fuel panel. So 2 fuel pumps per fuel tank. So we currently have one on for the APU. Okay. Got electrics. It's using generators and stuff like that. No smoking, fasten seatbelt signs for the cabin. Hydraulics, anti-ice and window heats for the front windows here. All the way down this side is the air conditioning and pressurization, external lighting, and your engine start switches there in the middle. Cool. And the last one I missed out was your landing gear. Yes, to lift and lower your wheels. So this one here is just a matter of pulling it straight out to the top to bring our wheels up. Okay, once they're up, we turn them off, and then back down again when we want to come back into land. Okay, so if you want to cycle that one through, just to get a feel for that one. Yep, so straight up first. Yep, no, it's actually you don't need it. You just from the ends, just pull it. Yep, all the way to the top. That's it. And then when the wheels will come up, the lights will eventually go off, and then you can turn it to the off position if you want to do that now. Yep. Yeah, so the off will be in the middle. Yeah, yep. And then it will be to down when we want to come back into land. Yep. Cool. Alright, so it was pretty much the entire flight deck. How was that?
Excellent.
Cool. Any questions so far? No, good to go. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll taxi out first, and we'll get pushed back first, and then we'll start up the engines. Alright, so if you want to push our ground call button there.
Oh, okay.
Yep, that's it.
What's that call sign?
Yep, you won't need to. If you want to push it, there's a good. Yeah, don't ask me what our call sign is. No idea.
Velocity 1 request pushback.
So do you do any of the pushback stuff at the airport, or?
No,
No?
we're safety cars.
Okay.
Yeah, we look after everything that
Yeah.
annoys you guys.
Cool. Alright, so we will be heading to the right. I think we'll let us push back a little bit more.
Is this actually City Airport?
It is, yeah. Yep.
Where are we?
I think we're on the domestic side. As you can see, they're relative to 16 right. If you push in the left rudder pedal now, should start spinning us around in a second. If you want to flick this one here, push it in and to the left, okay, to get the first, yep, and then they go. Okay, and that's getting the high pressure air pushing through engine number 1, which would start spooling in a second. Okay, just hold in that left hand rudder pedal. Hopefully in a second we'll start flicking us around to the left. Yeah, if you push it right in, it normally gets to there, it goes, gets to a point and then it will start turning. Alright, bring in the fuel, so number 1 can come to the top with our fuel pumps on. That's it. Okay, push your ground cool button there again to stop us. That's it.
Oh, we're off the domestic one.
Yeah, yep. Does it look familiar? Yeah, cool. Alright, so you bring your second engine on there, so pushing that one in and to the left. That's it. Cool, just waiting for that one to spool up now.
Could always tuck forward and disconnect while they're done.
Cool, and bring engine number 2 on, that's it.
I recognise that one.
And there we go, cool. Alright, so your 2 external generators can come on there for the engines, so each of those external ones, just push them down. Yep, and that one there. Yep, okay, so what that does, it turns on the generators for the main engines. The APU generators are now off automatically, so we no longer need the APU. So that one can pop off by coming to the top. Yep, and you'll see the pressure of it dropping off there, so we know it's shut down properly. Okay, you can bring your taxi lights on there for our taxi, so 3 white ones. Yep, okay, no smoking, fasten seatbelt signs for your passengers. Yep, bring on our last 2 hydraulic pumps there. Yep, pitot heats. Yep, and 2 window heats on either side there.
These 2?
Yep.
These guys?
Yep, the 2 there. Yep, that one as well. That's it. Cool, the middle one stays where it is.
What's the middle one?
It's a testing switch for them, window overheat test. Also, if you want them, you know, if you start getting a bit of ice, you can overheat them. Or power test, which is down, which doesn't really do much in this. Cool. Alright, so we're all set to go for our taxi. So if you want to bring your strobe lights there down to strobes, it's the second one into the bottom. Yep, that's it. Okay, take your parking brake off down here. Push that one forward. Yep, okay, bring your throttles up to about 30%. Okay, when you start moving your throttles, see these little lines that pop up? Okay, that's what you're controlling. So if you bring them up a little bit more, that's it. And as we start to move, focusing outside, that's enough. Focusing outside, using your feet to keep us on this yellow line. Bring us around to the right. That's it, and we want to follow that yellow line right down to the end.
And watching out for baggage and everything else.
Yeah, that's it. Cool, so what we're going to do, yep, that's alright, keep bringing us around, just keep it a fairly slow taxi. So what we'll do is we'll do a standard circuit for the first one, so take off, big loop, come back and land again, and then we'll start looking at some stuff that's a little bit more complicated. Yeah, you can give yourself a bit more power there if you want, keep following the yellow line down. Alright, if you want to bring your flaps down to 5 there as well while we're heading down. Yeah, so straight up, down to that one, up the other side. Yep, one more click down. That's it, yep.
Sorry.
Yeah, because they're closing throttles, that's it. Keep us straight, keep us straight.
Grass.
Yeah, those feet are really difficult to get used to, so that's alright. This is going to be the holding point for the runway there.
So we just hold short so we're out in front.
Yeah, that's it. Cool, so just bring yourself a little bit more power, that's it, just nice and creep towards it. It's probably a little bit too much, because there's quite a bit of a delay, you want to only bring it up to about there, and then just wait for the engines. They do take a while to sort of spool up. In fact, we have got an aircraft landing there. That's it, bring that to close, cool, and just make sure everything's set while he's landing, so everything's looking pretty good. We'll turn our transponder on. See a little sub. Yeah, it is too. Cool. Alright, so a bit of power now. Get us onto the runway. Yep, remember not too much. So you're looking at about, see the little lines there?
Oh, sorry.
That's what you want to focus on. So you want, yeah, about 30% normally. Oh yeah, you can release your toe brakes as well.
Is that delay wise?
Yeah, there's a lot of delay, so don't focus on the blue, focus on the little line at the bottom. That's what you're controlling, and the edges will eventually catch up to that. So it brings us right around onto the runway. Keep going hard right now. Is that me, was it? That's it. Yeah, a little bit more to the left, hard left. Close your throttles. Okay, bring yourself to a rough centre.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm still trying to drive.
Yeah, no, that's alright. No, they're very hard to get used to, so that's alright. So use your toe brakes to bring yourself to a stop. And parking brake back on. Yeah, nobody ever gets those feet first time. Yeah, generally if you can stay on the runway and stay on the taxiways, you're doing pretty well. So, all right. So what I'll do is I'll quickly talk you through the takeoff procedure without doing anything. Okay, then I'll talk you through it again as you do it. Okay, so in a minute you'll be able to go parking brake off. Okay, you then want to advance your throttles. Remember, looking at the little white lines up to just past the 4. Okay, so 40%. Once the engines do catch up to the 40%, you can then advance your throttles through to full power. Okay, after that I'll take over your throttle control. Alright, you can go hands on the yoke, feet on the rudder pedals, keeping yourself as straight as you can down the runway. I'll call out your speeds, 80 knots, V1 and rotate. As soon as I call out rotate, you can pull back, and you're looking straight inside for 15 degrees nose up, and we'll climb up to 3,000 feet. Alright, happy with that? Any questions?
Yep.
Cool, so you bring your landing lights on, so 4 silver ones can drop down, and your 3 white taxi lights can now come off. That's it, and your strobe lights can go all the way to the top for strobe. Yep, and our transponder is on, and flaps are set to 5, parking brake is armed, and your auto throttle is armed. Cool, so whenever you're ready, go parking brake off. Pushing them forward, yep. Throttle's up to 40% initially. Alright, and full power. Cool, then focusing outside, using your feet to keep yourself straight. Nicely done. And V1, rotate. Start pulling back. Yep, keep pulling back, keep pulling back, keep pulling back. And there we go. Cool, so looking inside, bringing your nose up to 15 degrees, getting your landing gear up as quickly as you can there. Yep, that one there, so out to the top. That's it. Okay, keeping your wings level and at 15 degrees, that's pretty good. Okay, we're about to hit 1,000 feet, so slowly dropping your nose down to 10 degrees, bringing your flaps up to 1. Yep, look at that one there. Yep, that's it. Drop into that one. Okay, maintaining 10 degrees now until we reach 3,000 feet. Okay, well, there's 2,000 feet, so we've got 1,000 feet to climb. If you want to bring your landing gear off, okay, so out into the center. That's it. Okay, landing lights off, so 4 silver ones above your head there. Cool, there's your 3,000 feet. Quickly dropping your nose down now to about 5 degrees. And whenever you're ready, flaps can come up to 0. So just forward and up, back through, down through that one, up the other side. That's it. Cool. So don't get your nose too low. Bring it back, bring it back, bring it back. Yep, pulling back towards you. So we've got a pretty decent descent now. So we're right back up. Yeah. So you normally want to keep, in standard flight, you want to keep your nose between 2.5 and 7.5 degrees. So see, you're on the 5 now.
Yep.
So keep it between the 2 lines either side of you there. Anything outside of that is too excessive. That was a takeoff. How was that?
Nice.
Yeah, you did well.
Thank you.
Yeah, so what we're going to do now is do a 180-degree left-hand circuit. So whenever you're ready, you can start guiding us off to the left. And I'm going to do a full 180 back the way we came. Okay, so just go for it. Yeah, now obviously we'll need a bit of back pressure. The other thing as well is that we don't need to use your rudder pedals in flight. They're actually done automatically for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so the real aircraft has that as well. It's called a yaw dampener, and it measures the balance of the aircraft and puts in the amount of rudder that's needed.
All right.
So it's a lot more precise than what a pilot would do. Because obviously if the aircraft is out of balance at all, it can cause a lot of people to be sick. So
Yeah,
it's all done automatically for you. So yeah, all you got to do is worry about your ailerons. So bring us round to the left to angle a bank. Bring a little bit of nose up as well to maintain your altitude. It's looking good.
How much can you go? Like,
Yeah, so you're at 20 degrees angle of bank at the moment. Yeah, you can see that across the top there. Okay, so you can, 25 is about a normal turn, but you can go up to about 35 before you get a warning. So 35, you'll get an angle of bank warning. But in real life, a 737 could do a barrel roll if you really wanted to. Like they're pretty agile aircraft. So start rolling back out, hard right. Yep, to the right, keep turning right, keep turning right. Pretty decent. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so you're gonna roll back out again.
Yep.
Cool, and we just want, so we are straight up the white line is us. We want to be on the pink line, which we pretty much are there. So bring your wings right back to level now. And that's pretty much us on track. Okay, then just bring your nose up a little bit, get us back to 3,000 feet.
Oh yeah, it's sinking a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit, that's alright. Cool. Okay, remember you don't want to get your nose above 7.5 degrees. Like right there is more than enough of the climb, especially because we're already quite close to our altitude. And then just before you reach 3,000, yeah, you want to start dropping your nose down a little bit to taper the climb off. Go, and just start coming to the right a little bit, get us back on track. That's it, back to the left. Okay, so remember there's quite a bit of a lag in everything, so back to the left, take your wings back to level. Yep. So all we're trying to do is sit at 3,000 feet and maintain our centre line there, the pink line. So are you the guys at the airport that sort of run up and down the runways for checking for debris and stuff like that? Yeah, yep. That must be a bit of fun.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely fantastic.
Have you ever actually driven up and down the actual runway itself, or?
Yeah, we actually we got two sets of us out there. One what the operations guys that work with Circle.
Yep.
And then there's us that are minimum as well. And we actually take care of the civil works on the airfield.
Okay, yep.
So we look after all the civil works, and the Circle guys are the ones that do the actual runway inspections.
Yeah.
So they can sign off on it, but
Yeah.
like we're out there alongside them, and yeah, we do it all.
Yeah, nice.
And night times, mate, when there's nobody out there,
Yeah,
yeah, we are on the right place to
yeah.
tearing big holes out of it, and putting it back together, and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Shit.
So,
Cool, so come back to the right a little bit, bring us back onto track. You're doing pretty well with altitude, but yeah, you always tend to fixate on one thing.
yeah, you can see how that can happen.
Yeah, it's very easy to get sort of carried away on one dial rather than focusing on everything. Cool, so good. A few more miles before we turn back around. Cool, it's looking good. Alright, so almost ready to turn back around again, so just waiting for us to drop below 250 knots, which is right there. So now you can bring your flaps down to 1. That's it. Yeah, help us stabilise our speed a little bit. Okay, then continue to maintain 3,000 feet. Start heading us off to the left again. Another 180-degree turn, which should line us up with the runway.
Not exactly, plus or minus 50 feet.
That's alright. It is very difficult to fly these things, simply because of there's so much delay there. You're basically, in a light aircraft, whatever control inputs you make pretty much happen instantaneously. So jumping from that to something like this is very difficult. I did my first flying in a light aircraft the other day, first time in a while. And I'd been flying in this for about a year. I'll tell you what, I was absolutely atrocious at it, simply because I'd flown this for so long. Just took across all my bad habits. Cool, so we start bringing it off to the right there, bring us right back around to wings level. Sydney Airport down there in front of us. Yeah, you can almost see the runway there, 16 right. Okay, so you can see this is the centre line of the runway, the white dotted line. Yeah, there's your runway there, so we're a little bit off to the left still. So just keep us heading to the left, but make it just a nice shallow turn to the left. Okay, we'll bring your flaps down to 5. Okay, yep, that's it. Keep bringing us left. Okay, so we're about to shoot through the centre line, so hard left turn. Okay, can you see the runway? You're heading for the 2 red lights there. Alright, get your nose down a little bit, bring your landing lights on. Silver ones, yep. And your landing gear. That's it. Cool, this looks good. Okay, don't get your nose too low. Don't want to descend too quickly. A little bit to the left again. Kind of see we're coming to the right now, so we'll do a bit of an S bend to get back on track. Yeah, I'll start coming back to the right now. Okay, yep. Okay, start a very gentle right-hand turn now. Should get us back on track. Okay, flaps down to... Oh, actually, hold on 1 second. Let's wait for our speed to drop off a little bit more. Get your nose up a tiny bit to help us slow down. That's it. A little bit to the right. Cool. Should be sort of 50% looking inside and about 50% outside. Okay, flaps down to 15 there. That's it, yep. Okay, leveling your wings back to the left a little bit. That's it. Okay, so we're going to do a touch and go, so touchdown, takeoff again. Okay, so as soon as we touch down, don't forget to use your feet to keep yourself straight. And I'll get your flaps and your speed up and we'll go straight back into takeoff again. Alright, flaps down to 25. Get your nose up a little bit as well, sort of sinking a little bit too quickly. And now start pushing forward, pushing forward, pushing forward. Very quickly get too high at the same point. Yep, now start bringing your nose back a little bit just to stabilise yourself. That's it. Okay, maybe back a tiny bit more. That's it. Cool. Okay, pretty much entirely focus outside now and just keep yourself lined up with the runway. Okay, getting your feet ready on the rudder pedals to steer you on the ground. Yeah, it's looking good. Okay, start bringing your nose up a little bit. That's it, hold it there. Maybe up a little bit more, a little bit to the left, keep your wings level. That's it, hold it there, hold it there. Beautiful. Slowly drop your nose down. Alright, getting our flaps back up, keeping yourself on the sense line. Cool, and V1 rotate. It's up to 15 degrees again. Get your landing gear up as soon as you can there. Okay, keeping your wings level, 15 degrees nose up, that's good. Yeah, there's 1,000 feet, so dropping your nose down to 10 degrees, bringing your flaps up to 5. So it's just one click up. That's it. Okay, continuing to climb back to 3,000 feet, flaps up to 1. That's it. Alright.
5 degrees, you said?
Just stay at 10 degrees for now, yep, just to get up to 3,000 feet. Okay, landing gear off, and landing lights off. That's it, and your silvers. Alright, how was that?
Excellent.
Yeah, for a first landing, that was nearly textbook. It was nice.
Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. I mean, it was a pretty damn soft touchdown with no bounce, so can't really ask for much more than that. Cool, so it's going to make a setting change. The screen's just going to go black for a second. Cool, so we're nice just before sunset. Just after sunset, sorry. Alright, so drop your nose down a little bit. There's your 3,000 feet. Okay, if you want to start heading, we're going to do 90 degrees off to the right now. We'll start coming around to the right whenever you're ready. Yeah, a little bit of, yeah, that's it. Let us drop, but not too quickly. Cool. Have you ever heard of an ILS before? I assume you would have, yeah. Yep. Have you seen how it works from the pilot's point of view?
Oh, not for a lot of years, mate.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, not for a lot of years.
Cool, so we're going to land on runway 07 this time, so yeah, east-west runway. Cool, so let's start leveling yourself off there for a minute. That's it, flaps can come up to 0 when you're ready. That's it, that's pretty good. Yeah, just up and 0, yeah. Ooh, down to up the other side, that's it, yeah. Let's bring your nose back up to about 5 degrees. Done.
So is that actually giving you the intended track that you've just steered towards?
Yeah, that's it. So I've just set it here at what we need to be heading. It doesn't need to be exact because I mean I've only set it roughly, just roughly parallel with our runway. But yeah, if you want to try and maintain it, yeah, that's it. Cool, so just give you a quick rundown of the ILS. What I'll do is we'll still have visual contact to the runway, so the ILS will be sort of just a backup. But then if you're sort of interested and want to try the ILS again, what we'll do for the next one is make it so that you don't have visual contact with the runway and see if you can maintain the ILS. So what you've got is 2 dials there and there. Okay, so that's your localizer showing you horizontal lining up with the center line, and this is your vertical glide slope. Okay, so each one has a little diamond on it, and the objective basically is to keep the diamond on the center on each side, and that means you're perfectly on center line and perfectly on slope coming down to land. Obviously they're not active at the moment because we're not heading towards the runway. Okay, but you always have to imagine you are the center line. Okay, and you have to fly towards the diamond to get it to move towards the center line. So for example, if the diamond was coming down and it drops back past the line, you would have to start pushing your nose down towards it to catch up with it, if that makes sense. Yep. Cool, so if you want to start coming around to the right, And we'll start a fair distance from the runway to give you a bit of time to see how it works. Nice. Let's bring us around to north. Okay, back out to wings level there for a minute. Okay, so we're quite far from the centre line, so we'll head back towards it a little bit and use this time to start slowing down. So if you bring your flaps down to 1 now. If you want to engage our auto throttle, so hit the speed button. That's it, and bring it down to 200 knots. Okay, so that now automatically controls your speed. Okay, keep us at 3,000 feet. Okay, you can see your airport off to the right down there. Okay, so if you want to start making a nice gentle right-hand turn now. A little bit of nose up as you make the turn, still maintaining 3,000 feet because we are quite far out from the runway. Yeah, that's more than enough of a turn, so back off a little bit, just a tiny bit, that's it. And what we should see is the localizer, so your bottom part of the ILS is now active. Yep, so now the idea is to keep that into the centre. Your glide slope won't be active for a couple of minutes yet, so just try and focus on your glide slope, your localizer, so keep coming around to the right. Okay, obviously we need to be able to be lining up with that for it to stay steady. So hard round to the right a little bit more. Yeah, we're just passing through the centre line now. Keep coming. And now back out. So just line us up with this line first, and then work out what you need to do to make the adjustments. Perfect. Cool. Okay, so now we're heading straight down the runway, so that diamond should more or less stay where it is. Yeah, we've just hit the glide slope as well, which was a little bit earlier than I was hoping. It actually looked pretty damn good there. So you can see, yeah, you need to drop your nose, drop it to 2.5 degrees. Yeah, I'll just help you out there for a second. Okay, don't drop your nose too much, just enough to start getting a trend in the right direction. So just hold it there for a second while your flaps and your gear come out. It's looking pretty damn good. Bring us like a couple of degrees to the right. Really tiny turn, that's it. Yep, I'll hold it just like that, then back to the centre again, just enough to start bringing it across, back to wings level. Okay, hold your nose on the horizon. Okay, now back to the left to bring us back to the centre line again, now that our localizer is more or less on track. That's it, back to the right, bring your wings back to level, nose up a little bit, keep your nose up above the horizon, wings to level, that's it, not too far, back to the left. Back to the left, get your wings back a little bit. That's it. Okay, we'll go flaps 15. Holding your nose there. Okay, maybe a touch to the left. Okay, nose up, just a tiny bit, and back to the right. Pretty much go straight back to straight with your heading back there, so back to the right a little bit, nose up. That's it, back to the left, back to wings level. And nose up. So you're So don't worry about your localizer for a minute. Your glide slope, you can try and chase us up to that one. Okay, just giving you flaps 30, which is obviously going to cause that balloon of the aircraft to start pushing forward now. You'll find that pink diamond will shoot back towards you.
It actually gives you quite a nudge,
It really does, yeah, because you need about 70% of throttles just to maintain speed with flaps 30. So with the flaps down and your throttles boosting up like that, it really gives you a pretty decent push upwards. So you really need to anticipate it as it happens. Alright, that's it. So start bringing your nose back up a little bit. Yep, while our speed slows down. Okay, bang on centre line. And bang on altitude as well. That's looking perfect. Yeah, it's just, it gets very sensitive the closer you get to the runway. The objects get very sensitive, so just doing everything nice and slowly. Start bringing your nose back up. Yep, a little bit to the left. That's it. Alright. Do you want to do another one at Sydney, or go somewhere else next for the next one?
I don't know any other airports.
yeah.
I accept Newcastle.
Yep. Yeah, you come to the right a little bit. Cool. Well, we'll come to a full stop on this one, and then we'll have a look at something else. Okay, yep, so nose up a little bit to the left. Sweet. Okay, don't forget your reverse thrusters on this one. Okay, and after we touch down, then obviously your feet again. A little bit to the left. Okay, and start bringing your nose up. Okay, keep bringing your nose up. Nose up, nose up, nose up. Nose down. Yep, that was a malfunction of the speed brake then.
Was it?
Yeah. Yeah, that wasn't your fault at all. Okay, bring your reverse thrusters up. I don't know if you saw that, but your speed brakes came up while you were still above the ground.
No.
Okay, reverse thrusters off. And use your toe brake to bring yourself to a stop. Yeah, the sim seems to throw stuff at you for no apparent reason sometimes. But this speed brake here is normally set to arm, and then as soon as your wheels hit the ground, it pops back automatically. And what that does is it kills any remaining lift that the wings are generating to make sure you're definitely on the ground. And that popped back at about 50 feet off the ground, which means that we just started plummeting, yeah. But no, the approach was really nice. How did you find the ILS?
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty much how 90% of aircraft approach an airport. It's pretty much the standard way of landing these days, especially when you're in bad weather. The ILS is slowly being replaced by GPS approaches now, but yeah, the ILS is still pretty much the main.
How's going with the GBAS got out at Sydney now?
Sorry?
Ground-based augmentation system.
Oh, is that the ADS-B? I'm not too sure, or is that the GPS like triangulation thing they've got going on?
Yeah, it gives you that RBSM.
Okay. Yeah.
Much better RBSM.
Interesting. Honestly, I haven't even read much about it. I mean, I haven't done any flying out of Sydney International, but yeah, I've heard they've got some pretty interesting stuff going on. Yeah, be interesting to see how it all develops.
Yeah, we've got the Cat 2 wireless setups now too.
Yeah. Does the main runway not have Cat 3?
No, we've just gone to Cat 2 for 16 right through full left.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We're looking at putting Cat 2 onto satellite line at least onto the east-west and the third as well.
16 left. Yeah. Interesting. I always just assumed that Sydney would have had Cat 3 on at least one of the runways. Far out.
No, Cat 1 and we've just switched over to Cat 2.
Oh wow, far out.
Yeah.
Interesting. You'd think for an airport that's sort of this important, they would have something a little bit better than that.
Well, it's just the weather. There's been no
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
I've only got a few days of foggy year and
True.
Alright, where are we off to next?
Have you been to Queenstown in New Zealand before?
No.
No? I'll show you it. It's pretty cool. I generally suggest doing an airport like this for the reasons you'll see in a minute.
Hey, you got back there?
Cool. There's Queenstown. Yeah, so I generally like doing this one because of the mountains. It just sort of makes it a little bit different. Queenstown in New Zealand. Yeah, yeah. So it's yeah, it's also a very short runway, and obviously we're already sitting at 1,200 feet, so we've got a bit of altitude to worry about as well. So, but to make it even more interesting for you. That's right, I'm not done yet. Because it wouldn't be Queenstown otherwise. Cool. Alright, so you want to bring your flaps down to 5 there for takeoff. Cool, so this one, the circuit's a little bit different, so we can't just do a straight rectangular pattern. Yeah, we take off above the ridge in front of us. Yeah, a bit of lightning there.
Good idea.
So we take off, fly over the ridge in front of us. We're going to climb up to 4,800 feet. And then we make a pretty big, steep left-hand bank inside the valley. Okay, come back across the top of this mountain here. And then back around another big sort of turn right behind us, back into this way on the runway. Cool. So whenever you're ready, you can take your parking brake. It's already off, up to 40% on your throttles. Cool. And through to full power when you're ready there. That's it.
What was the caution for?
It's centre fuel tank's out of fuel.
Oh, good.
Yeah. It's alright, we've still got nearly 8 tonnes left. And rotates, pulling back. And up to 15, that's it. Maintaining 15 degrees, get your landing gear up when you're ready there. That's it.
What was that?
It's just a, it's right, it's actually for the ILS approach. It's not actually supposed to come on for the takeoff. Just bring your landing lights off. Yeah, there's a few things about this sim that are a little bit annoying, but, and your 2 top fuel pumps can now come off as well, since we've got no fuel left in them anyway.
And what did you want to go to?
4,800 feet, yep. Yeah, so you can set up 10 degrees now, and flaps can come up to 1, and your landing gear can come off. That's it. Just keep us heading straight down that heading line.
Why is the speed flash running so much?
Turbulence. Yeah.
So okay, whereabouts would your like when ATC asks you guys, you know, for a spot wind and that sort of thing, whereabouts is that going to read up?
For a spot wind.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got just there. So at the moment the wind is coming from 160 degrees and it's 5 knots.
Yep.
Yep.
Thanks.
You can also keep us, get your nose up a little bit. There we go. Cool. Alright, so see that peak down in front of us there?
Yep.
Just before we reach that, we're going to start the left-hand turn and head inside this valley back the way we came. Okay, so you want to keep it a fairly consistently steep turn and try and maintain us around this altitude as well. Give another few seconds. And whenever you're ready, roll into the turn, keep us at altitude. That's it. Yep, that's about the right angle of bank you want there. It's not too much steeper than that, and lift your nose up to above 5 degrees. Okay, you can ease off the turn just a tiny bit. Yep, that's it, hold it there. Perfect. Yeah, don't let us roll out too much, so it's quite a fine point at which you've got to hold it. Okay, a tiny bit more to the left. Perfect. Stuff. Cool, so we want to sort of head straight across that flattish mountain over there, which is one we pointed out before. So if you want to, yeah, pretty much roll out on the pink line on your nav display there. And drop your nose a little bit. So go level your wings back to the right a little bit. That's it, not too much. You're also just going to maintain this altitude and head back across that mountain top there. Cool, if you look down there, see where the lake ends? Okay, there's a bit of flat ground, your runway's right in the middle of it. Okay, so we're going to fly right around the back of the valley there.
Oh, back over here.
Yeah, back straight down there. Yep, so keep us at altitude still. Go a little bit to the right, bring us back on track.
What's that one?
That's the same beacon for the approach. Yeah. Funny thing is, it's made for an ILS approach, and I don't even think there is an ILS at Queenstown. Cool, so we can start dropping now. We'll drop down to about 3,500 feet. So we just started gentle descent. We don't want anything too drastic. Bring your flaps down to 5, and your speed down to 180 as well. That's it. Also set your nose on about the horizon. Okay, nose back up a bit. It's probably a bit too steep. So back up, just sitting on top of the horizon. Now we're going to do a big wide turn around the back of this little hill here. Around the back of it and back down the valley that way. Cool, yep, go for it. Yeah, keep it a fairly shallow turn to begin with. It's pretty good. Alright, keep us slowly dropping now, 3,000 feet. Okay, bring your landing gear down. Landing lights on. So, cool, then when we know we're going to be clear of that mountain, we'll pick up the turn a little bit steeper.
Which one? There, this one?
Sorry, yeah, this one here, so we're just going to head back down that valley.
Oh, okay, yep.
Yeah, yep, so you probably pick up the turn a little bit steeper now. Yep, hard right, needs to be quite steep, heading straight back down there. Keep going right, keep going right. Okay, flaps to 15 when you're ready there. And arm our brakes for landing. That's it. Nose up a little bit. Cool, so there's our airport down there. Yeah, flaps down to 30 when you're ready. Actually make it 25 and then we'll go 40. That's it, coming right. Nose down, nose down. Really pushing forward now, your throttles are fighting against you.
Wow, that's tight.
Yeah. A little bit to the right, that's it. Now whenever you're ready, your flaps can come back to 40. So good. To the left, that's it. Cool, everything's set for landing, so don't forget to use your feet and your reverse thrusters on touchdown. Nose up a bit, a little bit to the left. That's it, back to the right, back right. Just ignore the fact there's another aircraft on the runway. A little bit to the right, that's it. Left, left, left. Yep, nose up. Okay, hold it there, a little bit back to the right. Nose up a bit.
30, 20, 10.
And reverse thrusters, nicely done. Yep, using your rudder pedals. And reverse thrusters off. That's it. If you want to taxi us into the taxiway there.
Yeah.
Straight across the grass, that's right. Cool, and park us in front of the first yellow building over there. So give the tiller wheel a shot if you want. See if you can find that a bit easier. It's got this weird delay thing on it that I've never really liked.
Yep.
Not that the feet. Yep, that's it.
Get the guy.
That's it. That's it. Nicely done. And parking
Yes,
brake
sir.
back on. Good stuff. How was that one?
Not too bad.
Yeah.
It's
It's a pretty cool one, that one. Have you been down to New Zealand at all, or?
no.
No, not at all. Okay, cool. Oh well, would you like to do another interesting one like that, or?
Yeah,
I'm gonna say there's another one that's sort of similar, but even more tricky again, which is Aspen in Colorado. If that sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless there's somewhere else you want to go. Yeah.
Time we still got?
Yep. So we've got about half an hour left. So we can do one at Aspen and then one at Kaitak if you want.
Sounds
Yep.
good.
Cool.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yep, this one's pretty much the same, but we start higher up. The mountains are a hell of a lot bigger, and the runway's a lot narrower. Cool, so if you look at the altitude that we're already at, we're already sitting at just under 8,000 feet above sea level. So there's a lot of problems that come with flying at that altitude. You may know some of them. Obviously the air being a lot less dense, the engines don't perform as well. You don't get as much lift on takeoffs. Your takeoff roll is a hell of a lot longer. Okay, your climb out is a lot slower. You just haven't got the performance that you do at sea level. So it is quite tricky to climb out of here. And then coming back into land, because the air is so much thinner, to maintain the correct indicated airspeed, your actual ground speed is a hell of a lot faster, so you're coming in very, very quick, so your landing distance is a lot faster, a lot longer as well. Cool, so bring your flaps down to 5 there for takeoff. Cool, and whenever you're ready, you can take your parking brake off, that's it. Actually, if you see your tiller wheel there, just below it is 2 dials, right below it.
Yep.
Yep, just a smaller one. Actually, both of them you can dial them down just for the lights above your head there. Yep, and the larger one will do them. That's it. That's a bit better.
Excellent.
Cool. All right. So, yep, throttle's up to 40%, and then straight through to full power. And on this one, we're going up to 15,000 feet. And V1 rotates. There we go. See, it does take a little bit of extra time to get that speed up. Yeah, yep, so 15 degrees, nice and slowly, that's it. Get landing gear up as soon as you can. Yeah, no higher than 15 degrees. You'll risk stalling the aircraft. Yeah, not enough wind, not enough air passing the wings. That's it. Okay, maintaining 15 degrees. Okay, flaps up to 1. Okay, as you drop your nose down to 10 degrees, nice and slowly. That's it. Okay, keep your nose at 10 degrees, bring your landing gear off. Yep, and your landing lights off. Okay, if you want to start a climbing right-hand turn, so maintaining 10 degrees nose up, start bringing us around to the right.
Bless you.
That's it. Getting ready to level off at 15,000 feet. Drop your nose down a little bit there, down to about 5 degrees. Okay, keep coming around to the right. That's it. Around to 300. That's it, start rolling up, pushing forward a little bit. Yeah, your nose will be a little bit lower this time to maintain altitude because we are going quite a bit faster. Good. Alright, start coming to the right a little bit more. Just a nice gentle turn around to 320. Back up to wings level. So we're going to start descending a little bit. Just start turning us to the left a tiny bit. So come around to about there. Start descending down to about 13,000 feet to begin with. That's it. Okay, nose back up a little bit, descending just a little bit too quickly there. Okay, now roll out of the turn and straight into a right-hand turn. Okay, keep your nose on the horizon. Oh, yeah, not too steep either, so you back off to the left a little bit. It's pretty good. Coming around to the right. It's looking good. So yeah, keep coming around. I want to head up that valley up there. You can drop us down to 12,000 feet. And maintain that. Pretty much head us straight down there. So if you level, come around a little bit more. That's it. So level off there, so back to the left. Okay, maintain it to 12,000 feet now. You can just see the airport beacon down there, the green, white flashing light. So there's white, hold on 1 second, it should turn green, which is a bit more obvious. There it is, see that, just off to the right of the nose. Just a little tiny dot that keeps turning white and green. Yep, so that's your airport beacon. So we can drop down now to 11,000 feet. Okay, it's nice and gently, that's it. No, it doesn't have to be any faster than that. To the left, sorry, to the right, just a few degrees. Okay, keep us dropping at 10,000 feet. That's it, back to the left. Okay, bring your landing gear down. Start slowing down a little bit. That's it, landing lights on. not too much. Back off to the left, back to wings level. So a little bit more to the left, just get your wings back to level. Okay, flaps to 1. Okay, see the runway?
Yep.
Okay, flaps 5. Nose down a little bit as you bring your flaps out, that's it. Yeah, look to the right, slowly start coming to the right now. Kind of tricky actually, probably set that up a bit too slow. Yeah, a little bit to the right, bit more right, keep coming right. Yep. Nose down, and nose back up now a little bit. Keep coming right, nose up. Yeah, keep coming right, so we don't really need to get us lined up the runway, so then back to the left. Back to the left, back to the left. Yep, okay, keep going left, nose up, then you've got low. Hard left, yourself onto, yep, nose down a little bit. Keep going on the left, nose up, nose up, nose up. Okay, keep bringing your nose up. Keep your nose up. That's it, reverse thrusters. To the left, yep.
How do you say ground loop?
yeah. Alright, and reverse thrusters off. Yeah, using your toe brakes.
Let's go back this way.
Yeah.
Hey, that was cool.
Parking brake back on.
That was good.
Yeah, it's a really cool one, that one. And in fact, every time I do this circuit, it's never the same.
Yeah, okay.
I just always trying to come in, because we don't have a terrain map, which is really annoying, and we don't have ILS, which is also very annoying. So every time I do it, it's always visual, and trying to find the right valley and all that sort of stuff is always very interesting. So it's quite cool.
Yeah.
This is the new Hong Kong airport. So we'll take off from here. We're going to climb up to 2,200 feet on this one, and then we're going to go across the harbour, and it's going to take us straight to the old car tack. Have you heard much about the old car tack?
Yeah, mate, the old checkerboard approach.
Yeah, that's it. Cool, so flaps can come up to 5 there for takeoff. That's it, and whenever you're ready, go for it. So park and brake off up to 40%. And this time we're doing auto throttle takeoff. So once we reach 40%, there's the 2 buttons just down in there. Okay, so you push them both at the same time, and then let go. That's it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's auto throttle takeoff. And V1 rotates. Alright, positive rate of climb, landing gear up. No, it's 15 degrees. down to 10 degrees. Okay, hit the speed mode now. So a little speed button there. Yep, and just leave it on 188 for now, that's fine. Okay, maintaining 10 degrees until we reach 2,200 feet, landing gear off. That's it. And landing lights off as well. Okay, there's your altitude, so start dropping your nose down now to about 2.5 degrees, because we're keeping our flaps out at 5. Your nose will be a little bit lower. And then whenever you're ready, you can start a right-hand turn. Yeah, bring us round onto the dotted pink line there. Yeah, don't get your nose too low, back up quite quickly. Yep, we don't want to be below 2,000 feet. So back out to the left nice and slowly. Keep going left, keep going left. That's it. Okay, nose up just a little bit. Back up a little bit. So, of course, you can just see Hong Kong City in front of us there.
Okay.
Yeah, just going to keep heading straight ahead. Start pushing forward a little bit now. Cool. Alright, landing gear can come down. Okay, see that bright line of lights right in the middle of the city in front of us? No, the brightest, there's two of them now, another one just popped up. Yep, so the first one on the left is what we're aiming for. So if you start sort of descending us towards that light. Okay, not too quickly, but yeah, about that sort of speed on the horizon is about right. Okay, flaps can come down to 15. And if you look out to the right, you can get a better view of the CBD there. It's definitely the best city we've got in the system. Okay, nose down a little bit. So slowly bring your nose up as we slow down. A little bit to the right to head towards that light. Okay, you see the strobe lights behind the light?
Oh, the curve.
Yeah, that's it. That's showing you a curve round to the right. And that if you follow that round, you can see the runway sticking out to the harbour there.
Yep.
Okay, start coming to the right a little bit more. Head towards that light. Flaps down to 30. Okay, your altitude's looking pretty good. Down through 15, up the other side. Yep. Start pushing forward to counter that 30. Wings level. Back to the left. Yeah, there's your checkerboard on the side of the hill, just to your left, partially lit.
Yep.
It's looking nice. Okay, just following those lines around. Okay, we've got landing lights on. Arm your brakes. Okay, you're coming around to the right now. Okay, lift your nose up a tiny bit. Keep coming right, hard right. Yep, really hard right. Keep coming, that's it. Okay, a little bit more to the right. Keep the turn going right until the last second. Start pushing your nose forward. Keep turning right. That's it, now back to the left, all the way back through to wings level. stuff, and reverse thrusters there. And a little bit longer. And reverse thrusters off now. And don't use your brakes yet. What we'll do is actually just shoot to the end of the runway. Actually, I think it might be the next taxiway.
I see lights actually do show up outside.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah, it's pretty awesome. So we've only got the two. We've either got the taxi light, which is that one, or the landing light, which is that one. Cool. And if you want to start this one here, so where the green lights are, it's a high-speed off-ramp. That's it. Just follow the one that's sort of straight out in front of you there. And then just do a really hard left-hand turn when you're ready there.
Ready?
Yep. Take us right back around to face the city. It's pretty good. Bring yourself to a stop. Cool. Bike and brake back on. Yep. Yeah, that's it. And bring your APU back on. So that one there can drop all the way to the bottom. One more. Yep. Cool. We'll get the pressure increasing there. Okay, bring your taxi light off while that's happening. Yep, all your hydraulic pumps can come off, so all four. Yep, and the last one there. The APU pump can come on, so the second one in down to the bottom. Yep, and our isolation valve. Cool, you can bring on its generators now, so two center ones can drop down. Okay, so we're turning on the generators for the APU, so now the engines aren't being needed, so you can turn the main engines off now, so pulling those two out to the bottom and in, we'll cut the fuel out. And we'll get our engine shutting down. Okay, bring your fuel pumps off there, so just take off 3 out of the 4, doesn't matter which one you leave on, just for the APU. That's it, and the aircraft sits like this until the next lot of passengers are on. Cool, congratulations.
Mate, thanks very much.
No worries at all, you did really well. How'd you find it?
That was great.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
fantastic.
you can see why they shut this airport down. So,
Yeah, mate, that's a shot.
absolutely crazy. Don't know whose idea that was.
Yeah. No, that was